You got what I want is Sony. मिठी गल्लां करके तू ना जा छड़ के, ay. I think about it every day. Baby looking like Khana Khazana on a plate, ay. It's your boy Tesher. Take care. I don't know what it is, but as soon as like I kind of like started to become somebody that people would Google, they would always want to find out where is Tesher from, how old is Tesher, does Tesher have a girlfriend, how tall is Tesher? I'm like, what does it matter? Just listen to my music, leave me alone.
Hello everyone, my name is Rudrani and welcome to Speakeasy. I hope you're doing safe and your family and friends are safe as well. Today it's going to be a very musical version of Speakeasy because y'all have been enjoying his music too much on Instagram. We thought, let's get him on board and ask him how his life has been after everybody has been asking him for some jalebi. I think you're getting the hint right. Here we're talking about the very talented Tesher. Welcome to Zoom, Tesher.
Thank you so much for having me.
Has everybody been asking you about jalebis a lot nowadays?
Oh my God. Never in my life did I think that the moment that I would kind of hit it big with my music would be because of jalebis. Never in my life would I have imagined that because I didn't even like jalebis that much when I was a kid. They were always too sweet for me to eat. And now anywhere I go, people have a plate of jalebis ready for me to eat and they expect me to eat the whole plate. But I just have one and they're like, oh, well, this is kind of a big whoop. So it's been fun regardless though.
But tell me, life post Jalebi Baby. I want to know that because you've been doing a lot of stuff on your own for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like this is the first thing that you've done. You've been making cool music for a while now. But of course, when something goes viral, life changes. So I want to know how life changed for you and how life was before that.
It's interesting because my music really started to blow up during the pandemic. So it was a very, very big life change because I went from having a desk job at just a company that I worked at in Toronto. And then my music blew up. And it all happened when we were working from home too. And I just never thought that the last time I would be at work would be, that was it. Like I left because of lockdown in like March of 2020. And, I don't work there anymore, obviously. And so my life is literally completely changed. Now I have to turn off my notifications on Instagram because they're going off at all times. People recognize me at the store now, which is crazy. But more than anything, it's been very rewarding and humbling because people see this moment, people see the moment where your name is in lights and everything is great and your song is everywhere. But yeah, I've been making music for the past 10, 15 years, just as like a serious hobby. So all in all, to hit this point is pretty surreal. And I don't take it granted at all because I know that it took years to get to this point.
When you see one of us, like when you see a South Asian doing really well, like it's like, oh, you know what? He's Indian, he's Punjabi, he's this, he's that. Everybody wants to come and like say that he's ours.
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens a lot. You, of course, are Canadian. You stay, like you said, in Toronto, and you've been doing stuff from there. But did that happen to you as well?
Exactly. And that's exactly how I wanted it to feel. That's exactly why I pushed so hard for this moment to happen. And like, I remember being on set of the music video and like the scene came for me to do the Bhangra breakdown with Jason. And I'm just looking at the camera. Jason is beside me. And I'm just thinking, man, I'm not a dancer at all. Like I am a producer. I am a rapper. I am not a dancer. But yet here I am, full Sherwani, Jason Derulo, professional dancer beside me. And we're about to do the same choreography together. And I'm just like, the whole reason I'm doing this, of course, because I want to do it, but mostly because I know that people, when they watch this, they're going to feel so happy. And it's going to be a moment for our whole culture to celebrate together. And so, of course, like people will reach out to me, not only just over Instagram and stuff, but also in person. And they're just saying, we really appreciate, what you're doing. We love what you're doing. You're showing our South Asian culture in a positive light. And I love that it's not even just only Indian people. It's people from Pakistan, Bangladesh, because of course, when you get to this side of the world, we all grow up together and we're all doing the same stuff. So it's just like all South Asian people are rallying around this moment because everybody feels like we've made it to the mainstream in a very positive and authentic way. This isn't like how it's been in the past where it's Hollywood's interpretation of what we are like. This is like legit. This is how we are. This is what we do. And people have just been enjoying it so much. So I'm super happy that I was able to give people this moment, and I'm so happy that they've been able to, that they're showing their love back to me, because it means a lot. It took a lot of work to make it happen.
Let's talk about representation here, isn't it? I want to understand, where do you think you see the representation of particularly Indian music in the global map, and what do you think needs to happen there?
I think that it's just up to us as South Asian artists to just fully present what we are 100% unapologetically. When I made Jalebi Baby, my main inspiration for that was definitely Bollywood, but I based that song around a salsa melody. I'm singing in both English and Punjabi because that's just how I talk. I'm born in Canada and I'm Indian. As you can't, like, I can never be a full Indian person and talk like a full Indian person. I can never be a full, like, just Canadian person. I'm Canadian Indian, and I have to show both of those because that's who I am. I think that for South Asian artists, if we want to keep growing internationally, we just have to make music that is just fully representative of ourselves, not trying to fit into any mold or anything prior, because that's when I think things start to look awkward because it's not you. Yeah. So, and it pays off, because the thing is, I think audiences reward innovation and creativity. Even when Jason had reached out to me to get involved with Jalebi Baby, the line that always sticks out to me is that he would always say that it sounds so new, it's so unique. And that's the thing that we have in our music. It's something new and unique, and we need to keep presenting that to the world in a way that can also be accessible to them. I think we have such energetic music that if we bring that energy to Western audiences and just international audiences, I think that people will pay attention to it. If Jalebi Baby is any indication, it's that there is people will accept a record that is full of South Asian references into the mainstream. So if I can do it, there's no reason why another South Asian artist can't go in and show their culture alongside having Western influences as well. You don't have to go full Western. You have to go full Indian. You can fully coexist in any kind of mix or mesh that you want to.
I want to know how the song came up in your head. It sounds easy, but I know it's never easy. How did you come up with it? And when was the first time you realized it's huge? And how did you sort of hold back, and how were the reactions looking at the reels, and what was happening there?
I had made the song. When I was working on the song initially, it started in like January of 2020. So very, very long time ago. I knew that I wanted to make something that was energetic. I didn't have any kind of thing in my head that I'm going to make some international chart buster dance kind of song or some hit song. I just wanted to make something cool. So for me, it always starts with the beat. And for me, I've always been a huge fan of salsa music. So I wanted to have a really Latin salsa dancey kind of vibe. So I started with the beat. And as for how I came up with like my verses, honestly, I just wanted to write something that was, it kind of had like a hidden meaning in it, because, as an artist, like I really wanted to make something that everybody could dance to, but I didn't want to make like a straight up stereotypical pop record. I wanted something that if you listen to the lyrics a second time, you might get a different meaning of it. And I think that just comes from me being a student of hip hop. Like I grew up listening to rap music. And the fun thing about listening to rap music all the time was the double entendres, the triple entendres, where you'd hear the lyrics and on first listen, you'd hear them say this thing, but then you also hear the second meaning. So it was just a lot of fun for me to write something like that, where anybody on their first listen might hear one thing, but it's actually another thing. It almost feels like, oh, I'm getting away with something that I shouldn't be. It was a lot of just experimentation in the studio. When I was messing around with that salsa melody, I had accidentally chopped it up in a way that I didn't want to, but those gaps in the chorus it just gave me the melody of na, baby, let me see it. So I guess it's just a lot of happy accidents and just being in the studio and having fun and just going with the vibe and just letting whatever comes to you. not overthinking it too much, just enjoying it and see what comes out of it. And thankfully, people were able to respond to it in a positive way. As for how it felt when things were blowing up, it was weird because it just kept going up and down and up and down and up and down. It felt like, okay, the song is done. I'm ready to move on to the next song. Let's get the next song ready. But then something would happen, and it was like, okay, we're number one in Turkey. Okay, we're number one in Germany. Alia Bhatt started dancing to it at her like friend's wedding party, and these little things just kept happening that kept bringing the song higher and higher and higher until obviously it got to the point where it could only go into the mainstream, and that's when we had Jason come along. So there was not really a one certain moment where I'm like, oh God, this is huge. It really was just Pori Pori Chalta Jai, just kept going on the steps, and eventually we hit. I think the music video was a big day too. When the music video dropped and seeing that whole reaction, that was probably the biggest oh my God moment, but it was really a slow and steady burn to the top.
As an artist who's trying to bring his own voice to the table in the global market, what are the challenges that you've been facing? And what are things that you really want to change in the music industry that you feel are still problematic and that need to change?
I think the biggest place where I see kind of a disconnect is not all artists know how easy it can be and to put your music out internationally to a global audience. Like, there are still people that think that you need a record label to put your song on Spotify. Anybody can put their song on Spotify, Apple Music, JioSaavn, all of them. You just have to go through like a service like DistroKid or any kind of third-party distribution service. So I think that there's a little bit of education loss that I think people just hopefully need to do more research. And also, I think that just as the industry changes and more people start to do things themselves, it's going to just become more prevalent and that information will reach more people. The other thing too is that, there's still a lot of new artists that come into the game and they get contracts thrown at them that they don't always know what they mean. Language is a little misleading, or not even misleading, just very complicated. And new artists don't always have the resources that they need to succeed. Because a lot of times, I've seen artists that they have a song that blows up, and if they don't know the music industry, they might just take the first offer that comes to them. Like, if I took the first offer that came to me to sign Jalebi Baby to a music label, I would have made no money off of it, and I would have just like given the whole record away for basically nothing. Because sometimes people get blinded by, people are coming to me, I got to sign the whole thing away. So I think for how this is going to change, I think it's really artists have to put in some effort. There's a lot on YouTube. I'll say that there's a lot of information if you just look for it. But I also think that there's a lot of people in the industry. Steve Stout comes to mind, who have recognized this problem and have been starting new initiatives and new seminars and classes to inform the next generation of artists. A rapper by the name of Russ is somebody who I used to watch a lot of his YouTube talks. And he used to talk about, because he was an independent artist that started just like me, from his basement, and then was able to hit mainstream success. From him, I was able to learn a lot of the practices that I was able to apply to my own career. So I think it's just misinformation and a lot of artists not making the right decisions early on in their career. However, I think it just comes down to the artist doing as much research as they can, and for people in the industry to share the knowledge and make these resources as widely available as possible, so that the next generation of musicians can be successful and they don't suffer losses. They're fairly compensated for their work. Yes, I don't know what it is, but as soon as I kind of started to become somebody that people would Google, they would always want to find out, where is Tesher from? How old is Tesher? Does Tesher have a girlfriend? How tall is Tesher? I'm like, what does it matter? Just listen to my music. Leave me alone.
Who are the Indian artists you'd love to collaborate with, and there are plans of collaboration?
Oh, 100%. You already know the collaborations are going to be crazy. I can't tell you any of them right now, but they're going to be from all parts of the world, and I am very excited to share them sooner than later. But as for an artist that I would still really love to collaborate with, an Indian artist, I think it's obvious, A.R. Rahman, for sure, because he's really the first guy that kind of blended the Western sounds and Eastern sounds in such an innovative way that caught the entire world's attention. And to be able to collaborate with the OG, the master, would be something so amazing for me. And then also Sukhwinder Singh. I love Sukhwinder Singh's voice. I think he's one of the greatest voices of all time, honestly. I think we're going to remember him as a legend like years from now. And just for, I don't know what we would make together, but even when I write songs, my Hindi songs or Punjabi songs, I think back to those songs, those Chaiya Chaiya type songs, those kind of Bollywood Sufi type records that he used to make. So Sukhwinder Singh as well, for sure.
Any other global artists that you really, really want to collaborate with?
Man, I think Drake. I always say Drake because, like, I mean, the Toronto Connect would be amazing. And Drake has like probably the biggest South Asian following of any non-South Asian artist. So if we can get him on a track with a South Asian person, it would be just a huge moment for the entire world culture. And as well, Playboy Carti. I love Playboy Carti a lot. I also don't know what the record would sound like if we worked on something, but he's a genius, and to be able to work with Carti would be crazy as well.
Some fun questions now, Tesher. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Let's go.
What's the most embarrassing thing you read about yourself post Jalebi Baby on the internet?
Oh, that I was 35 years old.
Are we revealing the truth
I'm not,
now?
by the way. No, I'm not 35 years. No, do I look 35? Are you serious?
I said they thought you were 35.
Yes, I don't know what it is, but as soon as like I kind of like started to become somebody that people would Google, they would always want to find out, where is Tesher from? How old is Tesher? Does Tesher have a girlfriend? How tall is Tesher? I'm like, what does it matter? Just listen to my music. Leave me alone. But I guess that's what it is.
It's the pros and cons of being famous.
I guess so. I got to get used to it.
What's the weirdest DM that you ever received?
Oh man. Somebody made a oh god, I don't even want to. Okay, yeah.
That's
I
okay.
gotta think about this. Okay, all right. Somebody made this art piece of me made out of jalebis, but it did not look like me at all. It looked so scary, honestly. I didn't have the heart. I didn't say anything at all because I'm just like, this person probably put in so much work, but like it honestly, it didn't look anything close to me at all. I showed it, and it's not just me saying this. I showed my family, I showed my friends, they're like, who the hell is that? So that, and also like, it was, I don't even know if he was using jalebis. They were like a weird color. It was kind of disturbing, but they put in a lot of effort. So I don't want to say anything too mean, but yeah, it didn't look like me.
A rumor about yourself that makes you laugh.
Oh, that my net worth was $5 million. I'm like, buddy, listen, this is my first song. Okay. I'm getting there, man. I'm working. Okay. I'm making some strides, but listen, I still got a way to go here. That's the other thing that happens. Everyone tries to like guess how much money I have. I'm just, why does it matter? I don't know.
As an Indian artist in the industry, what are the most weird questions that you've got about your culture and your heritage?
Oh my God. You know, sometimes they'll be like, did you eat curry when you were growing up? What do you like more? I was doing a rapid fire interview, and they just made me rank. They're like, what do you like more? Naan bread or chai tea? And I'm just like, hey, Bhagwan. So no, there's been a couple of weird moments where people are, they have the best intentions, but I mean, come on, chai tea and naan bread, you're just saying the same thing twice in both situations. So yeah. I'll be honest, there's been a couple of times where people have like started to be like, oh, I can dance Bhangra too. And then they'll just do some really bad dancing and do the twist the light bulb. And I'm just like, bro, this is not it, man. Like, you gotta, come on, man. You're just making a fool out of yourself at this point. Like, listen, I appreciate the effort, but like sometimes they do it well. And I'm like, okay, you did a good job. But sometimes they just butcher it so badly. I'm just like, I'll teach you, man. I will sit with you and give you a class. Just stop whatever it is you're doing.
Of course, for the zillionth time, do a little part of Jalebi Baby.
You got what I want, Sony. मिठी गल्लां करके तू ना जा छड़ के, ay. I think about it every day. Baby looking like Khana Khazana on a plate, ay. It's your boy Tesher. Take care.
Here we go.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll end it by saying thank you. This was so much fun, and we're all of us are very, very proud of you. We hope you're going to come up with a lot of more stuff, and we can't wait to hear it. Thank you, Tesher. Lots of love.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye.